Because you're dragging a whole bike behind you. Do a bunny hop. Hey, this is Project Dads. I'm Justin, and today we're going to be talking about tandem bicycles. We're going to be talking about why you should like them and probably why you shouldn't. And right now we're going to talk about why we're talking about them right now. So let's get started. When I got into bicycling years ago, I wanted a tandem bicycle, and I found this guy. I paid $20 for it. It was a rolling frame. The frame was bent, the front seat post was stuck, and I had to actually cut it out and weld that back together. And then I sanded it down and primered it, and it's been that way ever since. Then a few years later, my wife bought me this tandem bicycle. This is an old Huffy, and it is in working order. Somebody did their own restore on it where they painted all the chrome with silver paint. It looks pretty horrible, but it rides nice, and the front wheel is super wobbly. One of the seat posts is stuck, but I put a green chain on it, and we've ridden it all over the place. Then this one showed up at the house. This is an old Columbia. This one has been modified. Somebody modified the front frame right here, but it's actually a very solid tandem. I'm just not sure what or if I'm going to ever do anything with it. Now, I've heard it said before that tandem bicycles are like boats. They're the boats of the bicycling world, because boats, there's two great days for boats: the day you buy them and the day you sell them. Otherwise, most boats just get parked in the yard, never used a whole lot, just take up space. And that's kind of how it is with tandems. Even though I've got, this frame and these two other tandems right here, they will get ridden, or the one that I have riding will get ridden once a year, if that. People like the idea of them, but then when they ride them, they soon realize that it's only fun for the first mile. So why are we talking about tandems today? Sometimes things just fall into your lap, or they fall off a car on the highway. What I have here is a 1-year-old Bilenky Cycleworks tandem, custom built. And this bike was picked up by a friend of mine who works with the highway department. And this bike was, I guess, on somebody's car rack, and it fell off. They stopped to assist these motorists. The motorist looked at the bike and said, "It's trashed, can you dispose of it for us?" But he brought it to me, and I looked it up. I looked on Bilenky's Instagram page and saw that this bike was delivered December of 2019, so it wasn't even a year out. Beautiful, handmade bike, all custom, and evidently somebody just didn't care about it after it hit the road. Now it is damaged, so I'm gonna find out if I can put this back together and at least get it riding. If not, it's got a bunch of amazing parts on it that can be salvaged, but I would love to see it brought back to life again, and that's what I'm gonna try to do. So let me show you what is wrong with it and how I got it. So before anything else, let's look at the damage. Both wheels are tweaked. The front wheel, hanging down here, has a couple of broken spokes, but they can be repaired. They broke off at the nipple, so they're not damaged the rim and not damaged the hub. On the timing chain on that side, this front chain ring got beat into the ground, and it's bent, and I believe it also bent the crank, so that crank arm might need to be replaced. A lot of the impact was on this saddle, which is gone. This saddle, it chewed up the front of it. It twisted these bars, but the bars seem to be undamaged. This ESI grip got chewed up a little bit. The same with this one. A lot of the damage was taken up here on the top. It slid upside down, and these are the brake lever clamps, and they're Dior. And right here on the stem. The biggest concern is this fork. Now when I talked to Bilenky, he said he built this as a heavy-duty fork and it can be straightened and maybe even cold set. But I don't know how bad this tweak is. It still turns silky smooth. So the main concern, straighten the wheels, straighten the fork, put a saddle on it, and that would be the minimum to get it running. Oh, I did forget about this. The bike also slid on this pedal, and it slid it down and actually broke the cage off of it, and this rear wheel skewer. But all those points of contact actually kept it from damaging the hand-built frame at all. And this is just how I got it. Still has a frame pump on it and everything. Now let me show you its features. SRAM double, 9-speed rear. Here's probably the best part I didn't notice for a couple days. Check out these hubs. Wait for it. Yes, these are filled wood hubs. It has Continental Gator hard shell tires that are still holding air. Micro shift derailleurs. Like I said, the Dior brakes. 4 bottle cages. It's a steel frame, but it is super lightweight. This was a solid bike. And according to the Bilenky Cycleworks website, at least a $5,750 build, at least. Another cool thing, it's got a chain adjuster, non-eccentric chain adjuster. You loosen those pinch bolts and you can twist this bottom bracket holder to put chain, or put tension on this timing chain. So here's a question. Why would I need 3 tandem bicycles and a frame? And why are they all yellow? Well, mostly yellow. I don't need 3. For me to keep this one, I have a plan to actually give this one away to a father who has a daughter that might need help riding a bike. As for the Columbia Tandem, I'm really thinking about making this a tandem tall bike, but only the front rider will be tall. The rear rider will be regular. I'm not sure how that's gonna do, mount and dismount, but I could mount just the tall bike and ride slowly and let the rear person hop on. And I'm sure that will be a disaster, but it's just the type of thing I'll do. The frame, I don't know if that will ever be built. I have parts for it, plenty of parts for it. I could build it 8 times right now, but it's just the whole predicament of what are you gonna do with tandems when you just don't ride them and they just take up so much space. So what is there to like about tandems? They're quirky. They get attention. If you are a cyclist, there are people on the road who do not care about your life. They want to run you off the road, or they want to yell at you, throw stuff at you. I've had all that happen. But when I'm on a weird bike, like a trike, a tandem, especially my tall bikes, people smile, people stop, people ask questions. And so this is the type of bike that's good for that. Why is it bad? Well, they take up a lot of room. They feel weird when you ride them. They're kind of clunky. But I've never had one as cool as this one right here to find out like how a nice, solid, modern tandem might ride. Another reason they're good, well, you can spend time with someone you love riding bikes together. But that's also kind of a reason they could be bad, because you're just going to spend time riding together with someone you love, and it's not the most comfortable ride all the time. And the person in the back, they're just staring at the back of you, and sometimes they're cramped, and the old ones are really cramped, but this one seems to have a lot of room in the front and rear cockpit for the pilot and the stroker. So these are my tandems. Hopefully I will get this one running in a part 2 on this. So this is just part 1, just introducing you to the build. Like I said, straighten out the wheels, figure out the timing crank, and the fork. The fork is the biggest deal. If I can't bend it straight though, I might just buy another fork for it, because really a 700 fork with some some brakes on it is not a big deal. I actually probably have one, but I'm not sure if I have one with such a long steer tube for it. But as for right now, I'm going to get this bike a little bit together, start putting it together one piece at a time, and I'll let you know as it goes. All right, thanks guys, and if you want to see those updates, please subscribe. Hit subscribe down below. Leave a comment if you have any questions about tandems, how they work, why we have them, anything like that. Just let me know. Thanks guys. See you later.